Sorry to be coming at you from a slightly different angle, but last live stream, obviously my battery died on my phone, so I'm plugged in this time, but the phone charger cord's yay long. Usually I like to be up a little higher. Not able to do that with the phone plugged in, so you're going to get a little bit different view today, and we'll see how it goes. No hard root beer today. I need whiskey because we have things to discuss. And obviously I'm going to wait a few minutes to get a few people in here and give us a chance to discuss those things. I don't want to do it too early and have people filing in and miss that. So say hello if you're in here. Let me know how your day is going. Let me know if you've done anything positive to impact the reptile community today or help some fellow keepers. In the meantime, let me see, we can angle you down a little bit. Jack, sir, hello. Brian, hello. The minis are still awake. Brian, what are you doing with your life? I'm going to put you guys down for a minute so I can show you this. Hey, Justin. Hi, Lori. I'm in my love online class, but I'm streaming. You got to multitask. Stephanie, hello. Bill, hello. You guys and your aliases. Let me see if I can get this tub out. So you guys have seen my T-positive female lately. This is her in her tub here. One of my T-positive females. But the reason why I hate substrate and all of that is when bloods go to the bathroom, it is quite sizable. So you can see there's, it's hard for me to angle this down without spilling the water, but there's pretty big urates and there's very large poop over there in comparison to the snake. She probably just pushed out 15 to 20% of her body weight between the urates here and that. So now I have to throw all this chip out and completely redo it. And she's only had this chip for, I don't know. She hasn't been in this room that long. So that's why I hate using substrate on these guys. And I fucking hate my setup in this room. There we go. So we'll have to clean that out after. But that's why, that's not even half the reason. It's the damn liquid that blood pythons and shorttails pass that really makes it terrible. Let me see what comments I missed while I was showing you guys some poop there. That is not Pro Coco. That's just Reptile. Looks like, yeah, I didn't weigh that poop, so I don't know. Yeah, Stephanie is here. She's here for me. Laura's here to spread negativity, her T negatives. Tim, I think, hit me up for T negative stuff the other day, just asking me about some stuff, and I made sure to throw a dig in there while I was giving him some information on that. And I will always do that. I can promise you that. Yes, you did. Honestly, Brian, you were an hour late. But I know out there in Arizona, you people don't believe in like daylight savings time. So we're going to assume, even if it's in the wrong direction, that it's in your favor. Only because I like you and only because you signed up for a membership. So that's where the perks come in, those fringe points. We get you in there. So now I got a few people in there, a few things to go over. Hopefully, positivity. Yeah, something like that. So hopefully in the description of this video, there's a bunch of links I put in there today. One of those links is to Reptile Bliss here, who made me this lovely t-shirt, has my name on the back. But they make a lot of cool reptile related things, and they are some people that really got impacted really hard by the pandemic, and they're at the point now where they have their personal collection of animals, and then they also do a lot of rescue and rehabilitation work, and that's really their core focus. So they're at the point right now where they're looking at selling their personal animals to continue to finance doing the rescue and rehabilitation, and making a really big personal sacrifice to continue to do that. Mainly because a lot of the ways that they used to generate revenue in order to pay for the reptile rescue and rehabilitation process was kind of killed by COVID because they did, you know, birthday parties, things like that with the animals, all these different things that you need to have groups of people at. So if you guys are able, and you don't even have to just donate money, they have a lot of products they make, from apparel to jewelry to all kinds of stuff. So just buying that stuff, all those proceeds go right into doing that. So that's a great way to be helping our community while also getting something for yourself. You know, it's nice just to help, but I know everybody has a lot less money these days than we used to, with all this shit going on and people being out of work and whatnot. So if you can spare a few bucks and get yourself a t-shirt, get yourself some jewelry, help out a good cause, that's great. Of course, obviously, I've been linking USARK in every single video that I post. That's super, super important. The big deal about that, and there's unfortunately a lot of debate and a lot of argument, like everything else in this community, we can never ever get on the same page. So here's some really, really quick and simple facts to think about. You know, nobody knows the exact number of people in the United States that keep reptiles, but it's somewhere between like 3 and 5 million, give or take, which seems like a lot of people. But when you think about the fact that there's 328 million people in this country, that's a really, really small percentage. Somewhere between like 1 to 1.75% that keep any kind of reptile. And now out of those, a lot of those people are somebody that's got one leopard gecko in a fish tank, or one ball python, or one corn snake, or they happen to have a bearded dragon, whatever it is. So they're probably not really involved in the reptile community. So they're probably not aware of all this stuff that's going on. So you got to figure, you know, like 90% of the people that are in that number are people that are keeping like that and are really not aware of what's going on and really aren't a part of the solution. And part of that is because we've not allowed them to be. So I also linked Scott Borden's blog on here, and hopefully it came up to the right thing. I'm really not tech savvy, so I could have screwed this all up. But it's on medium.com, and you can just search Scott Borden's name. The one thing I noticed when I went on there is the blogs were not like the newest first or anything. So if you type in like Scott Borden toxicity, in case the link doesn't work, that brought it right up to me for the post. And basically the blog that he did was about the reptile community and how we shoot ourselves in the foot with our behavior, and how we kind of need to fix that stuff, and we need to start, you know, looking for commonality instead of looking for things that divide. And I couldn't agree more with that message. And I am guilty of being divisive, as is every single person watching this at some point in time. You know, if I was serious about the T-negative thing and really like hammering on that, that would be a really divisive thing. Obviously, I don't really care for them, but I appreciate the fact that people do. And I also appreciate the fact that people are so passionate about them. So when you see me talk about that, I'm really just joking. Like, yes, I really don't want to have them in my collection, but it doesn't mean I don't appreciate them or the people that are working with them, like April and Jason and Elijah and so many other people that have really, really nice T-negative stuff, and that are really great people. So, you know, right now, we're a community. We've got to really stick together, and we've got to work together. And thanks for plugging the like button, because I think that's probably the most likes one of these live videos has gotten in a long time. Most people don't, obviously, because you're focused on watching whatever else, not really thinking about it. And that's something that I try to do. And you'll see on Instagram, like, obviously it's no secret I'm not a ball python person, you know, whatever. But I'll go through Instagram and I'll hit like on a bunch of people's pictures of their ball pythons, not because like I'm like, oh wow, I love this snake, but because I just want to support other people in the community, especially people that are following me and supporting me. So, you know, if it's something as simple as liking somebody's picture, even though I'm like, snake doesn't do anything for me, it helps their algorithm, helps more people see it. Maybe it helps them make an extra sale in the future, whatever it is. And what does it take out of me to like it? Maybe somebody scrolling through sees my name on there and like, oh, you like the ball? I don't care. Like, I don't really care what anybody's opinion is about me on anything, to be quite honest, but I certainly don't care if people are going to give me shit about that. It's not going to bother me one iota. Mr. Josh, what do we got? Reason I put your name in that. Oh man, I still have those pictures saved. That tattoo was the best, and thank you to Sarah when she pops in from time to time. I saw her on Cusco's live feed recently. Um, but yeah, so anything that I can do to help another keeper, especially somebody that I think's doing things right and doing things, in a way that I appreciate, then I'm going to go out and do that simple little thing. Yes, it was worth every penny. You know, had we had a little more time, that could have been a good fundraiser for US Arc. Probably could have gotten a lot of money together for that tattoo. But another thing I want to touch on while some people are in here. So I was looking. I think you guys probably, most of you saw that with the South Carolina thing going on and the Tegu ban, that Kevin put together a petition. Now, petitions unfortunately carry very, very little weight in the grand scheme of things. These politicians want to hear from constituents mainly, but they need a lot of noise. They need a lot of attention. And a petition, because it's so easy to do, doesn't carry a lot of weight because a lot of people will sign a petition that really aren't that passionate necessarily about what's going on or invested in it. It doesn't mean that they're going to not vote for that politician that's pushing this through. Like, it just doesn't carry the same impact. So we still want to sign our name on those things and get those numbers up. But what's really, truly sad is Kevin did that. Kevin's got a very large platform and pushed that stuff really, really hard. I mean, really hard. I pushed it really hard. Josh pushed it really hard. A bunch of people that I don't even know pushed it really hard. People like, MJ and Cusco and even Barchek has jumped on and used their platform to try to push this stuff. And after weeks of that petition being up, do you know how many signatures were on it? 5,500 signatures. 5,500. And that petition was available to be signed worldwide. 8 billion people and 5,500 could be bothered to take all of 30 seconds to sign that petition? I mean, you could have even just made up a fake name. It wasn't taking really any information from you. I think you put your name and email address in there, and that was it. 5,500 people. And we wonder why we keep losing more and more rights. We can't even do the simplest of tasks. So we've really got to get it together, and we really have to support one another. What I'm hoping to see, and Kevin mentioned something in a live stream today that I watched on my ride home. So you should be kicking yourself. That's good. I'm not athletic enough to do that, so thankfully I signed up a long time ago. But Kevin alluded to something today about making an alliance kind of thing, and he didn't go into detail. What I'm hoping is that it's an alliance among all the keepers. So the problem is right now with legislation, you have the reptile community, you have the bird community, the dog community, cat community, you have the small animal community, rabbits, rats, mice, whatever. Other exotic keepers, big cats, whatever. And people tend to stay in their little circles, and then within that little circle, there's a bunch of other little circles. And so what we see is when legislation pops up that affects bird keepers, the bird keepers hammer on it. When legislation pops up that affects us, we hammer on it. Not as well as we should. And on and on. But what hopefully, in my mind, the alliance he was discussing is maybe some key members of all of these communities that work together so that when one of these laws comes up, even if it only affects community A, B, or C, that we all go out and we all support one another. Which is a big reason why, as reptile keepers, we need to stop glorifying feeding videos and all these things. There's a million of them out there. So if you're trying to push an educational angle, there's got to be an educational one out there somewhere that you could use that's already existing and not create more. Because the thing is, we need all these small animal keepers and other keepers to help us, just like we need to help them. And they already are probably uneasy about our animals because they eat theirs. But at the very least, we need to have a little bit more respect for them and the treatment of their pets. Just like we hate seeing somebody stand out there with a picture of a snake with its head chopped off from a shovel going, oh, what is this? And we hate to see that. How do you think it feels when you're a rat lover or a mouse lover or a rabbit lover to see an animal screaming in pain as it's dying and people are laughing or like, ha ha, I really hit him hard or whatever? that we just shoot ourselves in the foot, because that sets a tone, and then you get the people like, oh well, it's natural and that's nature. No, what's nature about it? What's nature about this tub? What's nature about your vivarium or your aquarium or whatever? What part of that is nature? It's not. You're putting it in a prey animal that cannot escape a predator, has no chance, none. So it's not nature. Nature is a chess match between prey and predator, and each evolve over time to kind of get the next leg up, and they keep having to figure it out and get smarter and use tactics and everything else. They have to have, more speed, more cunning, more. These snakes, I love my snakes, but some of them would not survive outside of this environment. That's just reality. They're not the brightest in certain aspects. Some of them absolutely would. Like my female olive python, she'd get it done out there. I promise you. But we have to stop looking at things from that angle, because it's just not nature. It's not. It's the equivalent of a canned hunt. Do you have respect for a hunter that sits at the edge of a fence and shoots an animal that can't get out? No. You might not like hunting at all. But hunting does go hand in hand in some aspects with conservation when managed correctly and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm not anti-hunting. Even trophy hunting that a lot of people hate. Honestly, a lot of trophy hunting does a lot of good for conservation if you look at the back end and the tourism it draws in, and how much people in these poor countries care about these animals now because they're a commodity, and how certain, funding that goes into it and the tags and all this stuff goes into conservation. So there's a lot of ways to look at things. I hate seeing any animal die. Feeding my snakes is my least favorite part of keeping. If trust me, if these guys could eat plants or something, I'd be all over it. But it's what they eat. It's what we have to feed them. Everybody knows it. We don't need to show it off. We don't need to shove it down people's throats and then go, hey, sign our petition. Call our representative. Send this letter in for us so we can keep, disrespecting you. It just doesn't work. So people need to think about the big picture and stop being so selfish and stop, going, they're infringing on my rights. And of course, the same person that's like, I have the freedom to post a feeding video can't be bothered to send a damn email to the legislator to keep their rights. So it's just stupid. It really honestly pisses me off. Now, also, USARK's Facebook page. Check it out. Especially if you are a Florida resident. Tomorrow they are meeting at 9 a.m. FWC's meeting about this legislation. It is very, very, very imperative that people from Florida call in on the phone. USARK has lined up what the meeting setup is supposed to be, when that comment's supposed to open up. Kevin is going to be posting on all of Nerd's social media steps you can take. Even if you're outside of Florida, there will be a period of time, I'm sure, where we're going to comment. The annoying thing is they're so screwed up in the way these legislators act that they're going to give us a very, very small window of time to call in. Optimistically, it'll be an hour. Looking at the USARK lineup, I have a feeling they're probably going to narrow that down and pinch us off even more. We'll see what happens. I hope I'm wrong. But these guys like to play a lot of shady games like that. And, they want to give you the least amount of opportunity to oppose this stuff as possible. There's a lot of money that goes into their pockets to form this legislation to push it through. Speaking of effigy, how would you be the best way to inform local wardens on certain reptile species? So here's the thing in my experience here in Connecticut. The local wardens actually aren't that bad. It's the higher ups that are an issue. So the local wardens will usually listen, and they usually will be the ones to admit that it's really hard for them to do their job because they don't have the support they need from above. And they really don't have the training. You would be surprised how many wardens can't recognize local species, let alone exotics. And then they're supposed to know everything about every exotic and enforce these laws. And that's why a lot of these places just want blanket bans, because then they don't have to educate these people. Then they know this is not a native species, it's illegal, get it out of here. They don't have to educate them. The wardens don't have to use any kind of I can't think of the word here, common sense, I guess, or any kind of problem solving. Because the thing is, especially now with so many morphs and so many things, you might know what a ball python looks like, maybe, but you might not know that a piebald ball is a ball, or that a banana clown is the same thing. It might look different to you. Just think about people looking at bloods and short tails. To me, I can tell from across the room the difference, but a lot of people can't. So you're expecting these wardens who aren't passionate about these animals, who have a very minimal understanding of them, to enforce all these regulations as we make, animals that look different more and more. It's a very, very difficult job to do. And so from their perspective, blanket bans are really, really easy to enforce. There's no thinking, That's kind of where they're coming from. So that's why a lot of states don't really get involved in permits and things. They just say, screw it, you can't have it. So we have to, if you have a voice, if you have a local herp society that can sit down and meet with these people, and they're willing to meet with you and be cordial and talk and listen and understand from their perspective how hard their job is, and look for ways to help them do their job, and set up something where, maybe the herp society helps out and, consults or whatever it is. Sometimes offering to do that can help. It all depends on the place. So, you really have to see things from their perspective. These people aren't trained. Yeah, I mean, the gray area is definitely an issue. I mean, they saw that in Maine. In Maine, years ago, somebody had a Burmese python that they weren't allowed to own, and they also had legal snakes within their collection, and Maine came and euthanized all their animals, legal and illegal. Right there on the spot, euthanized them, killed them. And people were obviously upset about that. And from the backlash, instead of going, oh, you know what, we made a mistake, they said, let's just make it easy and we'll just ban a bunch of stuff. And then our guys don't really have to be in that situation again. So this is why it's important to kind of kill this stuff in committee, get on it early, show our numbers early on, because the further things go, the closer we are to the edge, and the more likely we're going to fall off that edge. If we can nip this stuff in the bud early on, come up with solutions that work, it doesn't have to go into, these other stages where it's a lot harder for us to fight this stuff, or it's so close to the precipice that it's very easy for them to push it through. Scott was on Cusco's channel last night, so hopefully some of you caught that, and talked about a lot of this stuff too, and how the animal rights people that are trying to strip us from keeping pets are much better organized than we are. They're playing the long game much better than we are. They're doing everything better than we are. They might be batshit crazy, but they're smarter than us. And that's something that you have to accept. You might not like to hear that, but it's the truth. Not only do they have the capital, like we are never ever going to fundraise as a community to come close to what they do. So my best advice there is we have to find a way to educate people to stop fundraising for them. We need to get these celebrities to stop endorsing them, to get the real message out there. Because the average person with a dog or a cat sees the commercial with Sarah McLachlan and thinks, oh my God, these poor suffering animals, I have $500, let me send that in and help them. And then that person feels like they're doing good. And then we perpetuate this problem where they're getting like $49 million a year of revenue coming in from donations. We are not getting anything close to that. No, nowhere near. And that's what we have to fight against. And they're only spending 1% of that money on actually helping animals. You look at the numbers. Conrad went and posted a bunch of numbers today. And it's something like they took in 1,200 cats and euthanized 1,100 and something, to the extent of where they rehomed 5 cats out of 1,200. And their statement is that euthanasia is the best thing we can give these animals that are suffering in improper homes and everything, because they don't feel like animals should be pets. They want animals to either be in the wild or dead. And so that's what they do. and they rehome a few so they can show a few stories. These organizations are willing to stage stuff if they can't find enough evidence to make us look bad. They've done it in the past. They've been caught doing it. The government in some states has not allowed HSUS to fundraise in those states. Now, people can still donate from that state, but they're not allowed to advertise there because they've been found to be so crooked, hiding money, lying about things, misrepresenting what they're doing. So if you have a chance to educate your friends and family, especially if you know somebody in your family that's donating to PETA or donating to HSUS, you can do a lot of good by explaining reality to them, showing them the numbers. A lot of this information is public. You can go out to Humane Watch, which is a website that basically keeps an eye on these organizations and calls them on their bullshit. There's a big difference between animal welfare and animal rights groups. Animal welfare is good, animal rights groups not so much. There's some points that they have that are valid, but their methods and the things that they're doing and their overall goal is not good. And so we have to figure things out and figure out a way to cut that funding down, boost our funding up. We're never going to be on level playing ground. So we've got to outthink them. We've got to outfox them, outwit them, the whole nine. And right now they're doing that to us and making us look really stupid. So read that blog. It only takes, it says it's a 9-minute read. I don't even think it took me that long. I read it while I was cooking and stuff, so it took me like 15 minutes, 20 minutes to get through it, but I wasn't actually reading for that much time. I was cooking dinner. I want to start doing some giveaway stuff here because we're almost a half an hour in, but this is all really, really important stuff. We have to come together or, divided we fall. It's an old saying, united we stand, divided we fall. And it's an old saying, but it's a true saying. So, you guys, being everybody in the reptile community, you have to do better. I have to do better. Doesn't all have to be financial support. Another topic that we really need to discuss, and it's making me crazy. I told you the number of people that are USARC members right now is too low. We need to get that number up because when USARC goes and they fight this legislation for us on the front lines, and they are the only one that's doing it for us. There's other agencies like PJAC, but PJAC is dedicated to a different sector really than what we're doing. And they kind of snub us a little bit in general. They're more focused on your PetSmart, Petco, things like that. That's where they're getting their palms greased, and so that's what they're really fighting for. It's still, some of the stuff they do helps us, but USARC is really the organization for us as reptile keepers. And even if you're just an animal keeper, USARC goes after a lot of legislation that's going after multiple species like New York and all these places. So even if you're any kind of pet owner, I would still become a member. I think it's really a good idea. That's awesome, Tim. Thank you. Glad to see that. So we need to get those numbers up. So I see a lot of people going, oh, well, I'm donating when I'm shipping animals, or, oh, I just donate a portion of these sales and that. And that's awesome. Every dollar helps. We need the money. That's amazing. But I know you did too. And I'm very, very proud of you. So thank you. Thank you, Jared. Now that I know your name. Starting to learn all your names. The real deal, And I'm sorry I'm missing a ton of comments. So anyhow, we need the memberships. So take that $40, even if you buy the lowest level membership, just to get the number up there. That's why I'm doing this and giving away memberships, because that's what's going to help us right now more than anything. Yes, the money helps, but the membership count is the most important thing right now. So one of the ideas that I pitched in Kevin's group there, and I haven't talked to USARC directly, so this is just my train of thought, is that they have the $40 membership, the $250, the $1,000. If you can afford the $250, why not do the $40 membership, take the other $200 and buy memberships for people that can't afford it, or maybe people that are on the fence. Say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna buy your first year membership. Check it out, follow along, and I hope you continue to support them. And then that $250 is still going to USARC, but instead of 1 member, they're getting 5. And so with doing that, in my mind, we can make our voice a lot stronger, because we really need to double or triple the membership of what's there to really even have a chance to look respectable against some of these other organizations we're dealing with. What is the difference between silver and bronze? Bronze is $40. Silver is $250. Other than the monetary amount and the little badge that you get now. One, you get like 1 t-shirt and whatever. I think the other one you get 2 t-shirts or 4 or whatever it is. It's listed on their website if you look, and the link should be on this video and every one of my videos. But I don't know off the top of my head what the difference is on those. Right now my focus is just kind of getting the message out there and getting as many people as we can to sign up. And the one thing that I want to reiterate, which a lot of people have hammered on, is how much I appreciate people in other countries that are coming through and supporting USARK and are getting memberships. People that USARK, technically speaking, is not fighting for. Yes, it helps in the big picture because globally we're all connected in this hobby, and the US economy and hobby affects everywhere else, just like their hobby affects us, and we need to be proactive and help them when the time comes and they need it as well. But people in Canada, people in Australia, people in the Netherlands, people in the UK, Germany, all over the world are joining USARK. And obviously it's the United States Association of Reptile Keepers. But they see the big picture. And we still have so many people here in the United States that are like, screw them, or are getting mad because, they're talking about if you're doing reptile shows, you have to be a member to get a table. And they're mad about that. And that to me blows my mind. Because all you have to do is spend $40 a year. Cup of coffee a month, we're talking about. $3 and change a month. $40 a year to have your number counted, to have your voice heard, to have somebody go to these meetings for you, stand up, fight for your rights, to basically imagine if USARK didn't exist. Would we even know that this legislation was pending? How would we know? That's how we find out, because they do all this work for us. I don't even know what's pending in my state for anything. Nothing. They don't tell us. Nobody tells you. Unless you're sitting there watching all this stuff go down live and really diving in deep, you're not going to find this information. So that's what they're doing for you. When people are asking, where's the money going? What's going on? They're around the clock staying ahead of this stuff as much as they can. Are they perfect? No. Are they in time on every single thing? Probably not, because there's so much going on, especially right now. It's the most we've ever seen at one time. So please, 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 at very minimum, sign up for the newsletter so you know what's going on. But try to sign up for that $40 membership. And if you can't afford it and you want to sign up, reach out to people like me. I'll see if I can find somebody to stake you. I'm doing what I can for a couple people. I'm not rich. That's why I'm hoping the merchandise sales pick up, because everything from merchandise is going to that. I'm also taking, everything that I have coming in snake-wise is going towards that right now, which is basically nothing because I don't have any animals for sale. So it's not like I have money coming in. It's just going out, feeding them, taking care of them, paying my bills, whatever. I am behind on a lot of bills. My financial situation is not good, but still, I'm taking my money and putting it up because I understand what's at stake here. Trust me, it would be much better for me personally if I was paying my late electric bill, or paying my rent that's been late every month for I don't know how long lately, or paying my trash bill I'm behind on. I am caught up on my internet for the first time in like 4 months. So I am not in a good financial situation, but still this is so important that I am putting my money up to get other people on board, because we have no choice. If we don't act now, there is no tomorrow. And that is just reality at this point. I don't think there's a tomorrow eventually at all. Eventually, I think we're going to lose. I really do, honestly. But our only chance is to fight hard and to fight now. And, I hope to be pleasantly surprised. But there's just too much money on the other side. Too many people are too apathetic on our side. And like I said, they're better organized than us. They're out moving us. They're outsmarting us. Adam, what's up? What did you say there? Toss this towards someone's membership. I'm behind the same bills too. Yeah, you know, I know. I'm hoping you get something figured out. You know, with your business, it's tough with COVID. Hopefully, either this stuff stops soon or you can find a way to keep doing it. What do you think the point of no return is? We're keeping reptiles to be federally regulated. I mean, it's already federally regulated. That's already happened. We've already lost a bunch of species that we'll never get back. We already can't import a bunch of stuff. We can't export a bunch of stuff. So the federal regulations have already happened. Now, federal regulation, when it's federal that we can't keep anything, I don't know. That's really going to depend on us. I think it could be as little as 2 years. It could be as long as 20. It really depends on how we behave. It really depends on how well we organize, how much we stop being petty, how much we stop being apathetic, how much we stop thinking everything's just going to go okay and it'll work itself out. You know, if we fight like the Dickens, then I think we can ride this thing for a long time. If we don't, then I think we're going to be sitting here with a lot of regret. And the thing is, every single person watching this, every single person out there can do more, myself included. So if you can think of stuff that I could be doing that I'm not doing, talk to me. Throw a comment on here, the live stream. I miss a lot of comments. I mean, that's just the nature of these things. They go by so fast and whatever. So I'm missing those. But comment after the video's over when I'll see those and whatever. How much of a GoFundMe is it going to take to get Rob to wear a suit and tie? I don't know. But GoFundMe takes a portion of the money. So I would just say go donate it to USARK and convince them. Is everyone here a member? There are some people in here that are not members. I know that. Runs for $5 a month, but I don't get a t-shirt. Well, Adam, you should have entered the contest there, and then, you know, maybe you would have won a membership, whatever. So next time I can afford to give one away, make sure you pay attention to that community page and get on there. And you can still do your $5 a month, but at least you get a t-shirt. You know, I'm sure they make them in little sizes for you. I know, I'm mean. I'm a bad person. Some of y'all think I'm not, but that's your own fault. Yeah, you were called out. I am doing a huge part, but it doesn't matter. No matter how big of a part I'm doing, I could be doing more. And I can't tell you guys that you could be doing more and then sit here and be like, well, I'm already doing the most I can do. That's hypocritical, unfair, and stupid, to be honest. You know, I wish I was in a position like Cusco and MJ, who are much financially better off than me, so they're able to do a lot more on the financial end of things. So all their super chats, all that stuff is all going, you know, to USARK. You know, I'm not in a position where I can do that. First of all, I get money so sporadically from YouTube. I don't even make enough on here to where they pay me every month, because you have to hit at least $100 a month for them to even send you out money. So I don't make that much on here. So I'm not in a position where I can rely on the YouTube revenue so much. But merchandise, like I said, I'm hoping that'll pick up a little bit. And that's something where, you know, you guys aren't just throwing money away. You're getting something for it. You're getting a shirt. You're getting a pillow, some coasters, some stickers. You're getting something. So I feel much better about that. And that's why I like the link I put up for Reptile Bliss. They give you like 10 ways to help them. And a lot of it is through getting something in return. And I think that's an awesome thing when everybody's getting something and everybody's winning. That's right. Brian puts his face on Ron Burgundy every night. Just got my membership. I started feeling ashamed. Yeah, big shirt. So it's tough because in a way it's good that people feel ashamed if that's what it takes to sign up. And I've seen people like, oh, well, it's not fair to force people and to do all these things. And I understand that. But also I look at it from the perspective of sometimes it's necessary. And I use the analogy of if you have a child and you tell your child to wash the dishes and they refuse, there's consequences. If you tell your child to take out the trash, they don't do it, there's consequences. Now, what are you doing by having them wash the dishes, take out the trash, do these things? You're building character within them. You're teaching them responsibility. And you're also teaching them consequences when they fail. And so if adults can't be responsible and take the responsibility on their own to stand up for us, then I think we do have to find some ways to, either make them feel guilty about it, force them to be responsible. I do like the idea of offering perks as opposed to taking away. But at this point in time, there really is that line in the sand, and you're either for us or against us. There really isn't much in between. Because if you're not standing with USARK, then you're a number counted on the other side, basically, because they're looking at 328 million people, or like the state of South Carolina. 5 million people live in South Carolina. So you think 5,500 signatures on a petition tells that person that, I might not get elected if I push this through? 5,500 people from around the world, and there's 5 million people in that state alone. If there's 5 million signatures on that thing, then that scares them. 5,500 doesn't. So we really have to be better. And I mean, signing a petition, how hard is that? It takes nothing. But people have become so entitled and so lazy and so instant gratification and, I'm too busy. Well, you're not too busy for that. I can understand the financial aspect, but like I said, I'm in financial dire straits, and I'm still not only have my membership active, but I'm giving away other memberships to people. I'm doing, that to try to encourage people to be involved and to help us all. But we have to get better. We have to figure out ways to do it. And like I said, I kind of feel like we're at a by any means necessary at this point. I don't think people grasp the gravity of the situation. And I think most people that don't grasp that are because either A, they're in isolated areas where this stuff might not happen as often, or B, they've never gone in person to these committee meetings and see what goes on. I know right now they're probably not really letting people in there as much, but going to these things is scary, man, to see how we're portrayed, to see how much evidence they have against us that makes us look like demonic monsters. Like, we have to fight so hard to reverse that perception. And instead of fighting that perception, we just continue to shoot ourselves in the foot. Let me start setting up here so we can at least do some of these drawings. So I've kind of changed things up a little bit. And I don't know if, I know Mike, I saw Mike was in here earlier. I don't know if Michael M. is in here. For the last round, if you are in here, let me know if you're a USARK member or not. What I've decided to do, because initially I was going to do, if you won the top prize, you either get a USARK membership if you're not a member, or a donation in your name. Yeah, I know you're still here. I'm looking for the other mic. I'm sure there's multiple mics, but anyhow, so because the numbers are so imperative, doing the donation doesn't carry the same weight as what we really need right now. So what I want to do is give away the memberships to people that don't have one. And I'll still let everybody go after the other two prizes that participated. And I don't feel too bad about changing the rules last minute, because it's not like you had to pay anything to do this. You are the one true Mike. So for the first two prizes, we only had 7 people enter this time. I was upset about 11 last time. Now we're down to 7. So for the record, you guys are killing me. I do understand why some people didn't participate, because they're trying to give chances to other people, and I understand that, and that's great. But right now, I would love to see, even if you say, hey, I don't want to be entered in the drawing, but here's something nice I did for the community. We all need to focus on that right now. We need to be better. So we're gonna put the seven things in here. We're gonna draw numbers for you guys. Do the same thing we did last time. So I made a list of everybody in the order that they entered. And so we'll draw numbers, and 1 through 7, I'll tell you what your number is. You can't call dibs. You're the first person who entered though, so let's see what you get. Ah, so close. Mike, you are number 5. I gotta write this down as we go. Uh-oh, losing my caps. So Mike is number 5. And Mike is an active US ARC member, so thank you for that. Next, we're going to draw for Jackson. Jackson, you are numero dos. For my non-Spanish speaking friends, that is 2. Next is the missing Michael, Michael M, Michael missing. And he is going to be number 3. I'm not sure if Mike is a member or not yet, and he may have answered my email, but I can't check my email while I'm on here. So what I'm going to do is keep him in the drawing for the top prize, and then if for some reason he is already a member, I'll draw one of the other people and have a backup, and we'll do it that way. This one is for Dina. Dina, you are number 1. Not this number 1, this number 1. All right, so far 1, 2, 3, and 5 are off the board. Tim, my man Tim, representing the land up north. You get number 4. Super Trends would be so much better if YouTube and you only pay 50%. So YouTube takes 30%, and somebody pointed out to me and made a good point that I didn't think about. When I was seeing some of these super chats and they were taking a larger portion, the people that were making the super chats were in places like Canada, and so I was looking at the super chat thinking it was US dollars, and so once it was converted, it made more sense to me. So then it was more in line. We're drawing for Jared now. Jared joined US ARC after a nice conversation between us, so thank you for that. You are number 6. What the hell's up here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I think I done fucked up. I did fuck up. Didn't have the number 8 in here. I only put in 7 because apparently I'm bad at counting. So this is for Brett, who picked up the newly acquired number 8. If anyone is in serious protest about the number 8 not being in there initially, please speak now or forever hold your peace. Hopefully nobody cares. You know, this isn't like a $1 million giveaway here. Lucky 7, maybe. Maybe. And that's for Mr. Brian. Mr. Brian from Arizona without daylight savings time. So we're going to put these 8 numbers back in here. I'm going to get an inspirational beverage. Oh, hold on. What do we got? Personally, I think you could just assign us numbers based on who entered in what order. I guess I could do that. Off the monthly fees, I think they take like 30% as well, which is really annoying to me. That's the one that bothers me more than the super chat, because I'm literally giving you perks based on the money you're paying, and then they're taking some of that money for doing absolutely nothing and making it difficult as hell for me to do live videos with you guys. I have to do it as unlisted, post a link. You guys have to see that post and come in. I can't just go live with members because, you know, that would be so crazy. So this is the third place drawing, which will be for a pair of stickers. You will get one with like that and one of the Ron Burgundy ones, which you can see behind me on Ron Burgundy's tub, which those of you that follow me on Instagram will see that I did yesterday, because all this time, like, Ron Burgundy doesn't have one of his own stickers on his tub. That's terrible. So, the winner of these stickers is number 6. Number 6 is Jared. Jared, you have my email, so please email me your mailing address, and I will send those out hopefully this week. I am behind on sending out stickers and things. I have a pile of them I have to do, but I have to send out some coasters too. And the coasters, don't fit in the envelopes I have, so I need to get to the post office and figure that out. You're geeking right now. See, you got a US ARC membership and karma instantly came through for you. Now you got some stickers. His face on this tub. Yeah. Yeah, Patreon is something I have not had time to sit down and look into. And I want to talk to some people that have Patreon and some people that are members of Patreon and see their perspective. I just always felt like having a Patreon was like super lame. Now, mind you, a lot of us picked on like Hensler when he had one, but he also had like no Reptile experience and was charging people money, and that I think bothered people more than just Patreon in general. All in all, like I hate the fact that I have to do that, but like I have to put food on the table, and you know it is my time and whatever. So I do give a lot of my time doing this for nothing, but I wanted to give people an opportunity for a more intimate thing, and you know whatever. So I appreciate all you guys that support me in that avenue, and I'll keep you updated on what that is, and we'll definitely talk next members only meeting. And I still want to at some point do a members only chat on a video and let other people see so they can get an idea of what's going on. Kevin has an OnlyFans now, but yeah, OnlyFans is not. I don't think that's where you're gonna find me. I know a lot of people would really like that because, you know, fat's in these days, but it's not going to happen. Yeah, I mean, it's like 30%, but still it just bothers me because, like, you know, I'm giving you guys stickers after so many months and then, you know, offering discounts depending on what tiers on certain things or whatever it is. So I'm doing that as a thank you for investing in me, but then YouTube's over there with the handout all the time. And then YouTube still cries poor and says they're not making any money. I don't know how, because there's so many ads, so much revenue opportunity. So I don't know how they could be that mismanaged to be losing money. I find that very interesting. Oh, Adam. Adam has become a member. Congratulations. You were a member once upon a time, weren't you? And then I know obviously with the financial constraints, that's been limited. But I swear like you were, and then you were gone one day and I wasn't sure. They don't really, like, I can't even see who my members are on mobile. I have to actually go onto a computer, which I don't own. Someday I would like to be rich enough to afford a computer, but that's not in the cards for me right now. Nice, look at you guys go. This is awesome. Yeah, Brian, I thought I said in the beginning, welcome as a new member, but maybe I didn't. But Brian needs his recognition. And Malice in Chains, which is still one of my favorite names that I've seen on YouTube. I love that. Big AIC fan. And though some AIC fans consider it blasphemy, I do love William Duvall as well. Obviously, he's not Lane, but he's written some really, really good songs. I've always liked Jerry Cantrell's writing a tremendous amount. But I think William Duvall writes some stuff that's that fits. You know, it's not like you see this song and you're like, oh, this isn't an Alice in Chains song. That's weird. Phantom Limb on The Devil Put Dinosaurs Here, William Duvall wrote himself. And that song is fucking awesome. Awesome. And the thing that I love about that song, if you dive into the lyrics, what the song was actually written about is he was watching TV and there was like a building collapse or something, and this person was buried under the rubble. And that's actually what the song is about, is like from the perspective of that person that's buried in that rubble, hoping to be rescued. But if you look at the lyrics, it's kind of speaks to those of us with mental illness and depression. You know, and that's how that song connected to me before I even knew where William actually came up with, you know, the idea to write that song. And he like wrote everything. He said it to Jerry. Jerry's like, oh, this is awesome, and you know, whatever, and it's a great tune. But yeah, just the lyrics really, really hit home on me. You know, fuck, I can't think of the song right now. I gotta sing things to get them, and I don't want to do that to you. You know, like he's talking about through a pinhole of light, I see vultures circling, which obviously would be more literal once you know the meaning of the song, but that's kind of how it feels. When you're depressed, you're kind of trapped, and you know, you feel like the vultures are circling you. And there's a lot of lyrics within that song that fit for that, and I just really like it. So thanks for becoming a member, and thank you for opening up my opportunity to talk about my Alice in Chains fandom. Also, cool story. So Jerry Cantrell was pretty poor at once upon a time, and Eddie Van Halen had already had success. And so Eddie really took a liking to Jerry. They became friends. Jerry was living in renting a room in somebody's house. And Eddie's like, I want to give you a guitar and whatever. And Jerry was like, oh, no, man, you don't have to do that. And Eddie was like, listen, he's like, when I had nothing, nobody wanted to give me anything. He goes, now I can afford to buy anything I want, and everybody just gives me shit for free. He's like, let me do this for you. You know, like, you're a great friend. I really want to invest in your music career because I think you got something going. And so Jerry was out doing something, whatever, came back to this house he was staying at, and the guy there was like, hey, man, like, when are you going to get all your stuff out of the garage? Good evening, Graham. It is late for you. Shouldn't you be in bed? You need a lot of beauty sleep, my friend. A lot. Look at you. I appreciate that, man. Coming from across the pond. We need to get your ass over here. I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. Get you in the country. I wanna see you full-on redneck down there in Arkansas, you know? But anyhow, so Jerry's like, what are you talking about? I don't have that much stuff in the garage or whatever. And the guy opens the garage, and Eddie had sent him entire stacks and guitars and just all kinds of stuff. So that just spoke to who Eddie Van Halen was, too. A little bit of an odd guy in his own right, but, really saw the value in others and liked to give. And so let that be an inspiration to those of us in this community that we can give more, that as we have success, we can invest in other people's success too. It's not a competition. This is a group activity. Oh man, the future wife. Poor Justin. Oh boy. And this is Justin because I yelled at Justin. Because Justin, like many of us, living a little tight right now. And he always tries to throw in super chats. And, I told him that he wasn't allowed to send any big super chats tonight. I banned him. So I guess this is what happens now. Wrong Eddie. I was thinking Eddie Vedder. So let me be honest with you. Eddie Vedder is a person that I can't like him. I love Mike McCready. I love the band Pearl Jam. What's up, Matt? I can't listen to Eddie Vedder. He makes me want to rip my ears out. Black is probably like the one Pearl Jam song that I can get into. I can listen to some of the other stuff, even some of the Temple of the Dog stuff and things like that. But yeah, Eddie's voice. And then the other thing that bothers me about Eddie is like he enjoys all the perks of fame, but then complains about it a lot. And I get it. Like, being famous is tough. You can't really, your life changes entirely. But, he still goes out there and cashes those checks. So, I don't know. It's just always kind of bothered me the way he looks at things. But if you ask me for similar genre bands, I prefer Alice in Chains. I'm a huge Stone Temple Pilots fan. I love Scott Weiland. I always felt like he was just the epitome of a frontman. The energy he had, the kind of eclectic weirdness, just the way he'd feel a song and kind of inhabit it. And it's a shame that he lost his battle with mental illness, really. I mean, drugs obviously did him in, but he was very, very depressed, and it didn't matter how much success he had and how many people loved him. He just couldn't connect with that, and it was a real shame. I only got to see Scott live once. But, I love his Doors covers and things like that because he's a true fan, and, he really, really poured himself into doing that stuff. He didn't take it lightly. You see some of these people do covers, and it's just, clearly it was a cash grab, and they didn't give two shits about the band they're covering, but he really, really cared, and it really showed. I do also enjoy, I love Chris Cornell, I still love him, but obviously he's gone. We're getting way off snakes here, which hopefully doesn't upset anybody. Oh, Matt, got the King Diamond bag, man. In case you didn't see that last time. I love King Diamond. I love Merciful Fate. So that is one of my favorites. So now we're going to do the drawing for the pair of Ron Burgundy coasters. If you want to buy these, they are available on the link in the video to my little Redbubble store there. You can get a set of 4 of these right off of that little link. Not very expensive. Get them shipped right to your door. You guys are talking music, so have at it for a moment. And let's see who's going to get themselves a pair of coasters once I figure out what the hell I'm going to ship them in. Man, I'll fight you for them. But I'll try. You guys are going to fight each other, and I'm going to walk away with the fucking bag. I'll put this bag over your head, suffocate you with it. It'll be more valuable. So, the coasters go to, and see, I told you, lucky number 7. Mr. Arizona, you will have to message me on the Facebook and give me your mailing address. And now you could put your drink on your nightstand on your coaster, one for the wife, and then you can put your face in the Ron Burgundy pillow, because we know she puts you face down. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now, Michael M., did you make it in here? Devin Townsend's probably my favorite single musician. Oh, let me tell you something right now. If you haven't been paying attention, I hate you. Just because you get pegged, Brian, it's cool. Nobody's judging. We don't kink shame here. We just shame you if you're not in US Arc, that's all. Corpse Grinder did eventually win me over. Yeah, I don't mind some Cannibal Corpse. I can get down with that too. So I'm not big on like a lot of death metal, black metal, and all. I'm not really big on like new metal in general, but I do love me some Cannibal Corpse. I will rock some Cradle of Filth, some Bloodbath. You know, I'll listen to a bunch of other stuff. I'll get into some older thrash, but I also love my Fleetwood Mac, James Taylor, Jim Croce, Carole King, Carly Simon. I'll listen to that stuff too. I'll listen to Waylon Jennings. I'll listen to Johnny Cash. You know, I can get down with some Simon and Garfunkel, some Paul Simon solo stuff. I'm a little bit all over. But did Michael M. say he's in here yet? Melissa is a great, great, great album. I didn't see that he's in here. I don't think he is. So for right now, I got to pull the numbers out here of the people that are not US Arc members who are going to try to get a membership. And we're going to leave Michael in there for right now. If Michael is already a member, then what we will do is I'll draw a second number and go from there. So Jackson, your number 2 is going to stay in there. Mike's number 3 is going to stay in there. And Brett's number 8 is going to stay in there. And see what we can do. .3% chance for you guys. I don't mind older outlaw country. And even some older country from like the 80s and 90s. But I could not get into the modern stuff. You're not going to hear me bumping any Kenny Chesney or any Darius Rucker or Cowboy Troy or who's the hell? Luke Bryan is never going to happen. Florida Georgia Line is never going to happen. What a stupid name. Holy shit. Got some water over here. Excuse me. I can honestly tell you that I have never heard a Taylor Swift song that I'm aware of in my life. I am sure at some point I've been in a department store or something and it's been playing. But her, Bieber, I've never heard any of their music. I don't listen to to the radio at all anymore, so I just don't catch it. Oh, I got the hiccups. It's weird how those happen randomly. Absolutely no reason for that. So, before we draw that, oh my god, a little more suspense here. Hang on a second. Didn't work. Anytime you try to rush them over, it doesn't work. I have a friend who actually is in a death metal band and is a huge death metal fan. He bumps the shit out of Katy Perry. So I've heard Katy Perry songs because I've been stuck in his car and that's what he's playing. It's brutal. Brutal. It's where you just want to like, ah! What am I doing slowly? Not Katy Perry. Smoke and wine rips, teardrops on my guitar. There's a lot of people that you guys are all going off on music right now. It's too much to even pay attention to. And then I am of the ilk that I feel like, even though I am a massive Dave Grohl fan, that Nirvana was massively overrated. And I firmly believe that if Kurt had stayed alive, that they would have kind of dwindled into nothingness. I don't think they would have continued to have the impact that they do now. It seemed to really become trendy more than anything. I do think they would have had a longer career than Hole, but you know, I'm whiskey drunk. I'm not whiskey drunk, dude. I barely had any whiskey. Just a little bit. Nice and slow. It's a sipping whiskey. This is the finest of your home state. Old number 7. So one other thing I wanted to touch on and get some ideas, and you don't necessarily have to post them in here. Maybe we'll do a community post later in the week and just start brainstorming now. Be alive and well or burn out in drugs for this scenario. I don't know. You know, it's hard to speculate because you don't know what events would have happened in his life. Jay, what's up, dude? All the way from Indiana. How's things? How's your brother, your sister, your mother, Nate? I am hoping very soon that I will be able to get out there. Right now, my coworker's on vacation for a couple weeks, but eventually... Oh, L! Well, it says Jaden on here, so how am I supposed to know? What's going on, dude? Same question, though. How's your brother, your sister, your mom, Nate? Your sister's getting huge. I'm using his iPad. I won't tell him. Al, how old are you going to be this year? Your birthday's next month. What are you going to be, 10 or 11? Good. If he says anything, tell him I'll beat him up. PS5 came in. Nice, man. I don't really play video games, but I know you guys are into 11. Nice, dude. Getting old. Getting old. You're gonna be working soon, almost looking towards retirement. I miss you guys too. But I do want to get out there soon. I got some trips to plan and whatever else, and we'll hang out and do something. We got to get over to my buddy Justin's again over there and see some snakes and stuff. And we'll definitely do that at some point. But yeah, so what I want to do on the community page is have you guys think of some ideas as a community, not just here on this channel, but in general for the reptile community. What are some ways we can do to improve our image? How can we get more people on board to join USARK? What do you think would encourage people to join? What can we do, you know, to kind of get keepers to stop being so negative to each other? Show your biggest snake, please. Oh, you're killing me, El. I could show my one good size one that's in this room. My biggest one is in a very, very bad mood right now. She's in shed, and I think she might be gravid. and she's just not having life. Oh, this girl is amped up for some food, so let's see how this goes. I'm in kind of a really bad position here. I gotta be careful. I fed some snakes in here yesterday, so she is thinking that it's feeding time because she did not get fed, and they don't really like that much. So bear with me a second. Let me get a hold of her. Okay, come on. I know, you get pulled out on like every video lately. Hang on, Elle. Oh. All right. Ooh, get that tail off of there. Here's one for you, dude. Next time you guys are out here, you're going to have to hold her, though. She probably weighs almost as much as you do. See, she's posing nice. I got to figure out a name for this girl still. How much of a tragedy is it that I have not named this snake? One of my favorite animals, an animal that you guys see all the time, and no name. I am failing. Violet's eating raw mac and cheese and she pooped on the floor. Oh, I'm going to send your mother a message after. Ask her how that's going. If you come up with something really good, Lyric, yes. But it's got to be a really, really cool name. You know, I'm not going to name her something like Penelope over here. It's got to be awesome. It's got to be badass. You know, whatever else you need her. Good luck, Justin. Never going to happen. So yeah, think real hard, Lyric. And we'll talk at some point and see what you come up with. What are you doing? But she's such a good girl. Jaden's here. What's up, Jay? Jay's getting old too, Lyric, not just you. I still can't believe he's driving. And I survived in the car with him. So, you know, here I am. Didn't think I was going to make it. Hi, Amanda. Oh, I'm getting blown a kiss. That doesn't happen ever in my life. The only kiss I usually get from my snakes, and usually involves teeth too. Oh, let me put her back. She's getting heavy. But you can see how well-mannered she is. The fact that I'm reaching in and she really can't see me very good. Now, obviously, if I just jam my hands in front of her face, I'm sure that wouldn't go well. But I know how to just give my animals the slightest nudge with my hands and let them know what's going on. And I can feel their body communicate with me once I have my hands on them. If there's tension, if they're relaxed. So she initially gave me the little shrug, which a lot of snakes do. Doesn't necessarily mean anything with her. Some snakes it does. So you just kind of have to learn to read the individual snake and see what other signs are happening. I missed those comments. Hang on. The one that bit you when I was little was one that was for sale, so that one's not here anymore. That was a fire spider ball python. That's the one where I told you, don't take it out, wait for me. You didn't listen. And then it bit you. You had a bad run here, dude. I think you got stung by bees here twice. I know at least once for sure. And then, you know, I don't have the cat anymore, so it'll be a little bit better for you here. But I do have the dog. I don't know how your allergies are doing these days. Hopefully they'll get lucky and grow out of those. How old is she? I'm assuming you're talking about the T-positive girl. I'd have to ask Kara because Kara produced her. I believe she's around 8 years old. So she's just coming into her prime. She's got a lot of life left. Hopefully a lot of clutches left. I can see Brian is messaging me on Messenger right now with his address. I should just post that on here, and then you guys can just send him a bunch of terrible things in the mail. But yeah, so you know, she's only had one clutch, and she's like 8 years old, so she's got a lot of mileage left. I talked to a friend of mine years ago, and you know, this is just like a speculation that he came up with that seems reasonable to me. He feels like every snake has a certain number of eggs they're going to produce in their life, and so, you know, eventually you breed them and you just wear them out, and you don't get the same size clutches anymore and stuff like that. My goal is to never ever exhaust that number. So I want to spread them out. You know, I bred her in 2018, and she hasn't been bred since. I mean, I put Ron in with her this year, but he's not doing anything. So she's had a couple of years just chilling. She looks great. She's actually, I've got her managed a little too well right now. She's probably a little under her ideal for breeding. I have to find out if Chris still has Peach. I don't think Chris has any snakes anymore. I think he got rid of them all. And then he and his girlfriend split up. So they're living separately now. But I don't think he has any more snakes at all. But Justin and his wife moved to a bigger place, and they have more stuff now. Justin's the one that had the caiman and the alligator and all that stuff. We were upstairs. He had the monitor that you were in petting in the cage. So he still has a bunch of stuff in a much bigger space now. So we'll be able to go over there and see those next time I'm out. He was literally just moving into that house when I was out there in October or September, October. So, you know, I was tired and he had a lot going on, so we didn't end up going over there. But next time I'm out there, we definitely will, as long as he's available and around. And I'm sure he will make himself so. Justin's awesome. And then, you know, we'll see what else. Maybe we can travel around a little bit. I have to see who else is out there, but we'll find some cool stuff for you guys to do for sure. As long as you're on board. Feed the tortoise. Yeah, he had the tortoise. I'm assuming he still does, especially now that he has more space, but I haven't noticed whether he has it or not. All right, guys, let's do this last giveaway. We're doing much better tonight because my phone's plugged in, and last time we ran almost 3 hours. I am not doing 3 hours tonight. We're what, hour and 15 minutes in right now. So this is for the US ARC membership, and we'll see. We're going to draw two numbers. The first one, well, we'll only have to draw two if Mike wins first. Who the hell disliked this? Somebody disliked it. That's I had somebody dislike another live recently. Although, honestly, I appreciate it because, you know, it's suspected that the algorithm, if you have 100% positive, that people assume it's not really, you know, quality content, I guess. So they were saying like 5% thumbs down is actually a good thing. So a thumbs down here or there can actually be beneficial, supposedly. I can't see thumbs downs on here. I like, good, thank you. Whether I'm talking to Lyric or Jaden now, I don't even know. All right, so let's see. Obviously, if Michael wins, we'll draw a second. If somebody else does, then we don't have to. So what's his number? His number's 3. So if we draw 3, we'll draw a second number just to back up. If it's somebody else, then we'll be one and done for the US ARC membership. And of course, Murphy's Law, it's 3. So I will get in touch with him, find out if he is an active member. If he is, or if he's not, then he will win the membership. If he is, then the alternate will be numero ocho, which is Brett. So I'll write that down because I will forget, and that way I don't have to go back and sift through an hour and change. What's the giveaway for? So basically right now there's a lot of laws in a lot of different states that are not allowing us to keep reptiles anymore. That's making it illegal to do it. So what we have is an organization called US ARC that goes and defends our rights to keep these animals. And so I'm giving away memberships to that for people that aren't active members because we need more people to be members. The more members we have, the more voice we have when we try to fight these laws. So we gave away that, and then earlier I gave away some coasters. And then if you guys want some, let me know. I got stickers and stuff, so if you want me to send you some, let me know. I can send some to you, your brother and your sister. You know, you guys just let me know. I'll send some out. Share them. If you guys fight over them, I'm going to be mad. And I'm already ugly. I get even uglier when I'm mad. Yeah, like I said, I'll send some out to you guys. I have to. I got to figure out. Don't put your address on here. I'll talk to your mother. I can't remember as many times I've been to your house. The old house, I still know the address to the old house, but for some reason the new one just doesn't stick in my head. The Park Drive address, I'll never forget as long as I live. But the new address, for some reason, I can never remember. Hand deliver. I can next time I come out, but I figured I'll send them out so you don't have to wait. But I will definitely be out eventually. So anyhow, what do you guys have? Any other thoughts you want to touch on? I love you too, Christina. I haven't seen you lately, but you've been in my shoes. That's my best friend calling me fat, so see how that goes. I prefer husky. I'm looking forward to getting the coasters. Can I buy some stickers to ship with the coasters? Absolutely, you can. When you email me your information, I can email you back the details about that, and we can figure it out. Yeah, you're not as fat as I am. Even your fat is like my skinny. Although we did have our day, man. That day we went to New York, I think it was. We were still all right. I looked like hell because I was tired, and we also missed that fucking bus that day. Oh, I'll never forget the excitement of running to the bus thinking we made it and then realizing that it's the wrong bus and our bus was on a totally other side of town. I don't make the stickers. These ones here were made through Sticker Mule, and then these ones here are through the Redbubble through my merchandise store. So like this design here you can get on t-shirts, on pillowcases, on coasters, on anything. This one is just like my little symbol that I use. It's actually my watermark that I use for pictures. So that one I just ordered through Redbubble when everybody was hassling, or through Sticker Mule when everybody was hassling me. And I was making fun of everybody like Matt. Paying member, can I request you come over and clean my snake cages? No. What happens when you're a paid member is eventually you get to come here and clean my snake cages. That's the privilege you get. So that's kind of a big deal, you know. Stephanie, you will get plenty of stickers because Justin's won like 3 sets and I just haven't mailed them out yet. So take custody of half of those and he can just deal with it. You should really take custody of them all and say maybe he can have some back when you get more flowers. I'm not telling you how to live your life, but that's the angle I would play. That's just me. I need a vacation too. My coworker's on vacation right now. So today was pretty stressful because now I'm doing my job and his. But the stress is less because he's not there, because he's such an asshole to me all day long, that it was just so nice to not get treated like a piece of shit today. It definitely made my day a lot better. So even though I was buried in work and had a lot of stuff going on, I told you I'll just send you some stickers. How is the Australian female since completely losing? Oh, the olive python? I have her entire cage covered right now. I've left the room dark. Like, she really, really went off the other day like I have never seen. Never. Tomorrow I'm going to have to go in there because I really want to spray her down and I want to change her water because she's in shed. But I just want her to get through that darkest stage of shed where she's in a little bit more of a clear stage and she'll probably be fine. Talking, you know how she is. Well, if she really wants to order some of them, she can go to the link in the description on this video. There's a bunch of links, but there's a Redbubble one to the merch store and she can order whatever she wants. And she could put my merchandise all over the house, which would probably be for the best. It would make me feel a lot more comfortable, and I'd probably visit more. You know the rules. You have to have a fan for me, and now my merchandise. So, you know, I've made the big time. Hello, Tyrone. Welcome. Make some shirts to say Sumatran, short-tempered. It doesn't really fit them, though, because they're so laid back. It is funny, but I don't know if it's appropriate. See, my problem is, like, I have a picture of my big blood python there, and she's perched on a stool. It's a really nice picture that my friend took, who's a photographer. And I wanted to put "this is the only blood I want on my stool" on a shirt, but I was told that's a little too inappropriate. So here we are. But I thought that would be funny. But here we are, you know. I can't show you the picture because it's on my phone. No, I like the idea for sure. I just, they're such laid back snakes. Like it's hard to visualize them as. I think it would have sold. I would have worn it. I can understand maybe not wearing it, like, you know, out in your daily life. Although then again, I've certainly seen worse. Looks like this guy's going into shed. My blue ghost male. You didn't look like it yesterday when I cleaned them. I got to redo his cage. So he's been in with the female for like 2 weeks now, but I cleaned them yesterday. Made them both sit in the same holding tub too. They're both looking at me like, "What the hell, man?" But I had to clean the T-positive girl down here yesterday, and then I had to clean them, and I did a bunch of the smaller stuff yesterday. I set Callisto up. If you guys follow me on Instagram, wear it to Thanksgiving. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. You know, Rocco, the funny man. I love Rocco. Oh, that poor cat. He was going to shoot himself in the head if she could remember that cat's name. It's a great movie. I didn't really care that much for the sequel, but I love that first one. Thank you, guys. We'll see you. That was cool of them to stop in. I go out there pretty much every year. They used to live out here, but they moved out to Indiana. So I go out and visit with them and take them to some places. You saying bye to me, or you saying bye to them? I will wrap up in a few minutes here. Maybe we'll cut off at about the 90-minute mark. But yeah, so definitely, if you're interested in merch, pick that up, because all that merch money, well, not all of it, because Redbubble takes the majority of it. I get 20%. So that 20% is going right back into giving people memberships and doing my best. I have somebody I have to message actually after this video that even outside the contest, I'm just going to buy a membership for. Somebody that wants to be active but can't afford it right now. And so I encourage people, if you can afford to sponsor somebody, and you see somebody out there that's like, "I really want to be a member but I can't afford it," you know, reach out to them. I would prefer if people didn't take advantage and were like, "Oh, I can't afford it," and really they can. Because we all have those friends that are like, "I'm broke," and you know they have $20,000 in their savings. It's like, I don't even have a savings, motherfucker. And you know why? Because I do things like this, because I think it's the right thing to do. So yeah, Callisto, originally all the short tails had themes. So all of the Sumatran short tails were dark themed, like badass, dark, black, you know, whatever. The brights were all celestial themes, because bright stars, you know, kind of fit. And then the Bronx were going to be all red themed. So that's why Ron Burgundy, Cheyenne was red in another language, you know, whatever. But then it just got too complicated, and some of the snakes came with names, and I kept them. But like for the Sumatrans, where I wanted to keep the dark theme, that's why I had Akasha, who I sold, which I regret selling her with the name. I should have said I'm keeping the name rights. But now I feel like I can't name another snake Akasha. But I have Voodoo Queen, Black Magic, Amina, Morticia. You know, I was trying to keep all darker names. But then, like, Sambuca Incognito came with those. Midnight Rider, midnight, it's dark out. That was a little bit of a stretch, but I just thought it was a cool name that fit him. And, you know, then with the Celestial stuff with the Borneos, I have Callisto, Orion, Astra. I had Bellatrix. But then I have, like, my original Borneos, Lilith and Dio, that didn't really fit with that theme. But at that time, I hadn't decided to kind of focus on a theme. But now it's just anything and everything, if the name fits. So we'll see if Lyric comes up with a name for that big T positive girl. A lot of people have offered names. I always thought about calling her just like the Red Queen, but then I thought it interfered too much with Big Red. And Big Red was a tough one because I love the name for her, but the real Big Red was obviously a male in Secretariat. So I went a little off the rails there. Ha, horse racing. Rails, get it. And named a female that, but I just thought Big Red fit because at that time she was the biggest blood python I had. But yeah, I'm a huge Secretariat fan. He's one of my all-time favorite athletes to this day. If I need a little inspiration, all I got to do is put on that original footage from the Belmont Stakes, and I'm fucking pumped, man. If that doesn't pump you up, I don't know what to tell you. There's certain things that just get you going. You know, Ace of Spades by Motorhead. Like, if that doesn't make you ready to go fight somebody if you have to, or ready to go tackle the grocery shopping, whatever it is, that can help. And those Belmont Stakes, man, they really do that for me. I will send you guys some pictures of her, and then you can figure it out. I'm not going to drag her out again because she's going to get annoyed at me. Yeah, what happened? I thought you were leaving. You lied to me. I see how it is. Big Red after Orange is the New Black. I have never seen Orange is the New Black. So I wonder how many people think like that's a reference to that, and it isn't. I know there's a lot of things that I have that people think are references to other things that I wasn't even aware of. Hi, Sam. Sambuca's watching me. You can see her over there. It was just a joke. I got you. I went over my head. I got a baby blood last December. His name is Rocky. He likes to make me bleed. I'll win him over eventually. He is getting better. Yeah, I mean, time makes a big difference with a lot of them. A lot of them is just time. Some of them it's setup and husbandry. Some of them it's how you're approaching. Sometimes there's subtle things you're doing that are kind of giving them the signal to react accordingly. You know, it can be a little hesitation. Some bloods need confidence. So if you reach in and you get them, they're good. But if you hesitate, they're not. Other bloods, if you move that quick, it makes them nervous. So you kind of have to learn what triggers them, what makes them tick. Awesome, man. Much appreciated. I said, man, I don't even know. Could be a woman. Could be something else. Thank you, whoever. I appreciate that. But I call everything man and dude. Everything. What's the color of the snake I'm gonna name? She is red, mostly. Mostly red with a little white. Listen, I want you to know, I don't even know what I was just sent, but my best friend just texted me and it says Dan Takes the Dicks Volume 3. I can only imagine. I can't be too mean to her though, because she has photos of me where I was not in my best condition. She also saw me power puke in a hotel in Colorado, and that was not good. And the elevation was part of that for sure. So I'm going to be nice. Plus, we're not going to get too into that story right now, or any of those stories, given present company. I know. That's why I'm not going into details. I'll tell you, we have had a lot of fun over the years. That is for sure. For sure. from my car getting towed when we got back to New York and us both falling on the sidewalk as we were running for Johnny, who came to pick us up because my car was gone because I thought I was in the train parking lot and I was in an apartment building. So they towed my car. A lot of fun memories over the years. All right, we have cruised past the 90-minute mark. So anybody else have any closing thoughts? I don't know what color her eyes are, to be honest with you. Hey, you made it. Michael, not Mike P, Mike M. Oh man, Christina, I am not touching that one. She is out of my life. No more. Now Jaden's in here too. Oh man, I'm getting text messages from the whole family. So anyways, Mike, are you a US ARC member currently? You may have emailed me back, but obviously I haven't seen it. Just that way I know who I'm going to give the membership to. If you are not a member, then email me and we'll get your information and do that. If you are already a member, I am not currently. Okay, perfect. So I will email you what information I need, but basically I'm going to need your email address, and then I'm going to need your mailing address because you get a t-shirt with the membership, so they're going to send that to you directly. I'm not trying to stalk you, I promise. I don't have time for that. But yes, I will need your email address and your physical address that you want me to have the shirt mailed to. And I think that's it. I'll make you a temporary password, and then you can change it to whatever you want. The password is a gigantic pain in the ass. It has to be medium strength or stronger. And like, it takes a lot to get to medium strength. So I'll figure something out that's easy enough. Send you a screenshot of that in the email or whatever. Don't forget size. Yes, thank you. And I will need your size as well. Email me your shirt size. I honestly find the shirts run a little bit small. Maybe that's because I'm fat and I'm just not accepting it, or maybe because they run a little bit small. So if you typically wear a medium, I would go large, just to be safe. If it is a little too big, throw that sucker in the dryer for an extra 25, 30 minutes. Done deal. All right, dude, we'll see you. Tell everybody I said goodbye, or I'll text them back when I'm done. Perfect. Email you now. Don't forget the size, the elevation. It was the elevation. Content. How we going, everyone? Thank you, Jack. Appreciate it. So yeah, I'll get with you guys and we'll get you set up and get some of this stuff sent out and all of that. So we will see you guys. Don't forget, if for some reason your notifications are not turned on, to turn them on. That way you see the community posts. You can participate in this kind of stuff. Yeah, but Justin, you're thin. You're living that keto life. I'm living that kilo of food life. Totally different. Because I got an extra large for them, and it's comfortable, but it's not great. I also just I wash and dry all my clothes the same because I don't care. So I over dry my shirts a lot, and so I don't get a lot of life out of them because of that. But I just don't have time to mess around with laundry. I do my colors and whites together. I don't care what happens. Damn the torpedoes. It all goes in the machine, goes in the other machine, in the basket, and maybe makes it in the dresser. That's how life goes. So we will see you guys. Don't forget to turn those notifications on. My notification on, but I didn't get the notification today. Make sure, because I think you can select all notifications. YouTube's fickle, because I know I have notifications turned on for some channels that I don't get stuff on. That's why I try to make the announcement a little bit in advance, and I try to announce on multiple platforms so you guys know what's going on, because it is a massive pain in the ass. But yeah, so thank you for everybody that became a member today. Much appreciated. Yeah, my shirts, none of my shirts fit anymore. Man, I have an awesome collection of maiden shirts, and most of them don't fit because I got too fat. And as much as I'd love to lose weight, the effort I have to put in to do that is too much for me. And not even I don't even mind working out, even though I don't have a lot of time. I could do that. But the diet thing is not my jam. I love pizza. I think everybody's life is better with mozzarella sticks. I think you should order mozzarella sticks every single time you go to a place that serves them. That's my feeling. I even get mozzarella sticks when I get fast food. Like, mozzarella sticks are life, and it shows. So I'll leave you on that note. But yeah, turn on those notifications. Yeah, dad bods. I think I'm like getting to a grandpa bod where you get even bigger. I don't know if that's a thing. I have one friend that gets really, really mad that you're not allowed to call it a dad bod if you don't have a child. And I'm like, I think it's more impressive that I got this body without having the kid. I had to work harder, you know? Like, damn, and I didn't even have any fun to get here. So I don't know. I have a different feeling on that one. Although I did like that thing that I saw that it's not a dad bod, it's a father figure. That was pretty funny too. See that? Well, you better, because you're going to be making a lot of mozzarella sticks, and that sounds really sexist, so I don't mean it in that way, but I love mozzarella sticks. That's what I'm trying to say here. You know, and I'm going to get more mozzarella sticks, you're going to get more flowers, and you're going to get a T-positive batik eventually. It's a pretty good deal. Sorry, Justin. You know, I'm a Libra. The scales. It's tipping one way here, buddy. What are you going to do? Don't forget, check out Reptile Bliss, please. See if you see any gear or anything over there, or if you just have some extra money to help. I hate the thought of them selling their own personal animals just to pick up the slack for people that aren't taking care of their animals properly. But that's the sacrifice they're willing to make. So I think if we can help out, that's great. And then check out Scott's... check out his blog in general. The latest one's really good, but he's got blogs going back a couple of years on there that are really, really good. Scott's a good guy. Scott Borden. She's in, and he's telling me I suck. There's the scales, buddy. But yeah, Scott's a good guy. Scott was in, I believe, episode 10, so you can go back, watch that, see who Scott is if you weren't kicking around the channel at that time. Scott has some really nice scrub pythons. He's got white lip pythons, northerns. He's got Savu pythons, which I love. They got those Clemeri geckos, which are really awesome. I'm not a lizard person, but those things are cool. So check that stuff out. And then check out US Arc if you haven't already. And that's about all. So we're going to wrap it up. Know anybody with amethystines? Off the top of my head, I don't. There's somebody on Instagram, I think it's like the Amethystine Project. So I believe he would have them. Check that name out. I might be saying it, but I think that's what it is. I think it's the Amethystine Project. And if he doesn't have any currently, he'd probably be a resource on where to go for those. And then Rob is a big scrub python general person. Same with Brandon at Morelia House, so they might have a line on that kind of stuff. I just don't know. Savu pythons are somewhat similar to Meclots. My Meclot pythons are a-holes. That's why you never see them on the channel. Once in a while, you'll see them on my Instagram story. But yeah, they just hate me with a passion. And they just don't stop biting. There's no, like, I just can't seem to win them over. In fairness to them, I've not put in enough time to doing it. So I'll try to make it a point to do that and see if we can win them over so I can get them on the channel more. The import female is a little bit better than the captive bred male. Go figure. You know, she came in, I believe, through Cam probably. She was probably farmed over in Indo. I got her through Nerd, and then the male came from Sonia. Sonia's awesome, but she's not really on social media. She's on like iHerp, and then you'll see her ads on Fauna, which is where I found the McLott's python. Seems standard for them from there. Yeah, but usually as they age, they get all right. They're always liasis, so they're always very postury and very food-oriented, but these two just hate my guts. I even tried like having a thick sweatshirt on, let them crawl in the sweatshirt. They just light me up through that. They don't care. But yeah, I'm gonna probably up their feeding a little bit and start working with them a little bit more and see if between those two things we can kind of balance them out. McLots have kind of a higher metabolism than some of the similar stuff. So I'm probably feeding them a little on the light side, which might also be aggravating them to a certain level. So I'll play around with that, and hopefully we'll get them on soon. Thank you, Adam, for the super chat. Thank you guys for becoming new members. You know, Adam, Malice and Chain, Stephanie, Brian. Appreciate you guys. If I missed somebody, I'm sorry. I'm just going off of memory, and you know, I got this bald spot where stuff leaks. We'll see you guys. We're 15 minutes over, so we're out. Thank you.